Do you find it so hard when you know in your heart you're letting me down every day? You're letting me down every day. Why do you keep on running away?
I was in a class, and then we're talking about how slaves were being raped. The white student in the back of the class stood up and said, slaves can't be raped because they were property.
My first period teacher went through the attendance and asked every single student after they said their name if they were white or not. And for everyone that wasn't white, she made a tally mark on the board, and she said 56% of our class is minorities. If you're a minority, you should feel really good about yourself taking this honors class.
I was in a theater class, and there was a girl who didn't speak very much English, and she had recently moved here, and so the teacher pulled me aside and asked me to look out for her, and then added very quietly that she wasn't sure whether or not this student was legal.
One day, people came to my class to present about Black History Month, and there was a debate about whether there should be a White History Month. And when we started talking about it, one of the students said, well, Black history would be more important if it was actual history.
I was walking through the hallways with my friend, and at this time we were approached by a white male who told us to move, nigga.
The teacher would never be able to remember the names of the students of color who were male. She said, "It's not my fault, I just get all those rowdy boys confused." Told a girl wearing a hijab that she liked her turban.
In one class I had a high B, and my teacher told me she would bump it up to an A because I worked hard and I was the only Black girl in the class.
I wanted to take AP Bio, and so after class that teacher came up to me and put her hand on my shoulder and said, "Are you an honors student? Because if you're not, we can find a way to work this out."
I was one of the very few students of color in a classroom signing up for an AP exam, and a teacher kneeled next to me and said that if I was on welfare, I could get a fee waiver.
On the first day, a Black student walked into the room and asked the teacher if he was in the right class. She looked at his schedule. She said he was in the wrong class. "You don't look like you belong here anyway."
There was a tradition called Aloha Day, and when I advocated for myself saying it was cultural appropriation, and it made me uncomfortable because of the sexualization and assumptions about Hawaiian culture, I was met with a lot of resistance because it was a school tradition.
I was hanging out in my ELA class, and I heard one of the students call another student a coon.
My French teacher used to talk about how Asian families acted a certain way and African families acted a certain way, and then anytime any student of color would come in late, she would say that you were on Haitian time.
So one day I left my phone, going to class to get it. A teacher says, "What are you doing in here?" I'm just going to get my phone. He follows me outside. He says, "Hey, what did you steal?"
I was physically pushed out of a class by a teacher, and she called me a fucking animal. So I did report them. Like, nothing's happened with this, and after this video, I'm not even kidding, I've told everyone this, I've told my mom this, I've told my dean this, I'm done. Like, I'm not being a teacher, I'm not doing social justice anymore because I put in my work for this, and I've really tried to do this, and nothing's happened, so this is it, this is the end of it. When nothing happens, like, okay, that's great, you win, it's over. That's it.